The recent release of the Tamagotchi Connection Remasters or the Tamagotchi Connection Anniversary Editions means that we can finally reuse some of the fairly cool but also fairly varied connection accessories that were released for the original Tamagotchi Connection. Now, I only have a few of these, so any of the ones that I don't have, I've just grabbed links from either official Bandai press releases or from Tamagotchi Wikia, because Tamagotchi Wikia pretty much has photos of everything that was released for this, and I won't go over every single piece of merchandise or accessories for the Tamagotchi Connection series because Bandai really well and truly went overboard for this release. But I will go over a few of my favourites, the ones that I have and the ones that I wish that I had. So first of all, like we had the keepers for the original Tamagotchi releases, they also released some for the Tamagotchi Connections, and these were various cute little backpack buddies that had a little backpack on, and then in the back you would have a little pouch for your Tamagotchi. Now, while they're not as protected as they are in the original Tamagotchi Keeper series that were released for the original P1 and P2, they're still kind of cute and you can kind of hang that on the bag itself. The Japanese release also had various cases that were similar to this, but honestly I think I preferred the English Tamagotchi Connection cases because they're so cute, and they're actually little Tamagotchi plush toys as well, so even if you don't want to use it as a case, you can still use it as a little plush toy, and it's kind of cute for the collection. But the same can be said about the original Tamagotchi Keeper series, so they're kind of cool. You can hang it on your bag and you can kind of take it to school with you, I guess was the idea, because they're wearing giant oversized school backpacks, so that's a pretty cute idea. Again, it's not super protected there, but it is very cute, and they released various versions of this for different characters that were released in the Tamagotchi Connection. And of course you've got a little slot there for a lanyard or something, or some charms. Of course, they did also release lanyards or leashes, they were also called, which is kind of a weird word for it, but they seem to be just lanyards. And of course, they released charms, which you could also hang on this, I suppose, but you could also hang it on your Tamagotchi here for some extra bling. The original Tamagotchi Connection did, of course, at least in Australia, come with this little charm here, so you could just attach that and have kind of a charm chain going on there. So that was fairly cute. It had various items and Tamagotchi characters that were on the Connection. So they had a lot of different charms. They released them in Japan as well as for the English release, so fairly cute there. But of course everything has keychains and charms, especially when the Tamagotchi itself could count as a keychain. There was also a heavy emphasis on decorating and bedazzling it and putting gems on things. That was kind of the feel for a lot of things though in the early 2000s, so bedazzling was extremely popular with any type of arts and crafts, and of course Tamagotchi was no different. So you had the Deco series and the Tamagotchi Gear series, and basically they were a bunch of either gems you could stick onto your Tamagotchi to customize it, or cases that you could stick on gems to, and the cases were not cute and plush like this one, they were just solid plastic translucent ones, similar to the Iremon or any of the clear cases for the P1 and P2 or vintage Tamas. So there was also that, which was kind of cool. Again, bedazzling was kind of a big thing back then, and it was nice that Bandai gave the users the option to customize their toys and make them a little bit prettier, in addition to, of course, the cases themselves, or the shells rather. And you could customize those. You could customize the shell, you could customize the cases, and it really what made the user rather creative, especially because, again, arts and crafts and customizing and bedazzling was kind of all of the rage, and I guess it had been all of the rage for quite some time. It wasn't just the early 2000s. So of course they had to have some level of customization there. So that kind of also had charms as well. Those decoration ones had charms, the lanyards and leashes had charms. Basically, every accessory had some form of charm to add on to your Tamagotchi Connection series. Now lastly is another one that I don't have, and I really regret not ever picking this up. So because one of the big draws of the Tamagotchi Connection original was the Tamatown, that sort of computer game functionality, they also released the PC pack with, I believe it was the Tamagotchi Connection version 4.5. With the power of editing, I'll put a picture here. If it's got a ball on the end of the antenna, it's a version 4. If it's got a star, it's a version 4.5. So I guess whatever's on the screen will answer my question for me. I'm pretty sure it was the 4.5, now I'm thinking about it. And the shell was like a globe, or the Earth kind of design, and it came with a PC game with additional kind of games to play with your Tamagotchi, kind of just like Tamatown, but its own standalone PC game with a CD-ROM, because, that was back when computers commonly had CD-ROM drives. So that was a thing back then, yeah. And of course, the main part, which I'm jealous that I never actually got a hand on, is the fact that it comes with, while it's meant to be a microphone, and it does have a long cable attached so it can be a microphone, it's actually a stand for your Tamagotchi, and it's super cool. It's a tree, and you've got different Tamagotchi characters that you can move around the tree, kind of like a little bit like a play set, but you can kind of just keep your Tamagotchi seated in this stand, which is really cool. And of course, since the Tamagotchi Connection Remasters are the same size and shape and shell as the Tamagotchi Connections, especially the version 3 with that specific design there, that means that of course this little guy can fit in that PC gear stand microphone thing. Very upset that I don't have one. Maybe one day, but I never got my hands on it when it was new, and I never really ended up picking it up when I was an adult either. So that is also compatible. Again, it is a microphone, so it does have a long cable attached to it, but I don't think anybody would use it as a microphone. I'm pretty sure people would just use it as a display piece to have your Tamagotchi Connection kind of sitting on something. That's kind of cool. But in general, those are my favorite Tamagotchi Connection accessories. Of course, you can use them again now with your Tamagotchi Connection Remasters. Again, they're the same size. My favorite of them is the PC gear, which I don't have, but I do really like these little backpack buddies. They are fairly cute. So overall, those are my thoughts and feelings about the accessories that I have or don't have. Again, if you want to look at the full list of them, I'm pretty sure all of them, or the majority of them, are logged on the Tamagotchi Wikia. So check the Tamagotchi Wikia out. I'm a big fan of the Tamagotchi Wikia. It's a great source of information for all of the Tamagotchi toys you can get. And yeah, that's basically this video. So comments, questions, etc. belong in the comment section below. Like this video for, I don't know, the hope that maybe one day I'll get that random microphone tree stand thingamabob. Subscribe if you haven't already, and if you have subscribed, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your enemies, and of course, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!